backward. E-Levy was backward because you did not want to even call it evil. What is different from E-Levy as against this new way? Abai Mepacho.
Okay, thank you very much. Materially, there's a huge difference. I had contended, sir, if you look at government's own strategy to develop the digital economy, and if you look at the fact that the digital economy was and would grow faster than the traditional economy, and that the future is increasingly digital, and we needed to create the enablement for the digital economy to grow, our considered view was that E-Levy was a misplaced handle along that path, and that hasn't changed. And I'm not situating the E-Levy argument and the reasons side by side with this one. They are completely different.
Yeah, but the E-Levy was also to come and solve a specific problem in the economy, as this one is coming to solve.
In fact, the head and the impact of introducing the E-Levy and the future of the digital economy, we will end up being hurt much more than compared to this levy. Even
though this one seems to be bigger than the E-Levy, because the E-Levy was 1% and way 1 Ghana cedi. I mean, that's way more than the E-Levy, and the incident on the taxpayer, and this one looks more. No.
So you are looking at the value chain effect with this one. When we say E-Levy wasn't the way to go, our understanding is not because this specific levy is an optimal intervention. We are not justifying them on those equal lengths.
Asempa.
I have said that this is not the optimal thing to do, but based on the circumstances and also given the conferred advantage that the strengthening of the currency has given us, one could make a case for this as a temporary intervention. For E-Levy, I still stand by my comment that it was not the way to go. And if you follow the discussion very well, that it was either E-Levy or IMF and all of that, we had indicated that we didn't have to situate E-Levy side by side going for IMF supported program. We said that what we needed at that time was more fiscal discipline, was more some kind of external policy credibility that we needed, and we needed to act very fast. And I still stand by that. And I'm happy that E-Levy was abolished. We needed to allow the digital economy to grow. The multiplier effect is much more, because that is where the world is heading towards. The future of currency is increasingly digital. The future of money is increasingly digital. In fact, the future of business is increasingly digital. So that's the percent. So if you look at it from a growth modeling point of view, there is no way you'll be able to justify the introduction of E-Levy. And I still stand by that. Yeah.
But fuel has an almost inelastic demand. I mean, you cannot say you will not buy. Some have argued would say E-Levy crowd was optional. Fuel is almost inelastic. I mean, how do you defend your position against this reality?
So yes, I agree with you. I agree with you that the introduction of the levy is an issue. It's not an optimal intervention to go. But again, if you look at the challenges in the energy sector and the effect of that on the broader economy, you want to look at it totally along the entire value chain, and you can make a case that yes, it's very difficult, but of course we've seen certain interventions that has brought some relief in terms of reduction in energy price, export price, and therefore we can make a case for this. That is where I come from. That is not to negate our position that E-Levy wasn't the way to go. I still stand by that. And I am sure the argument we made